Hey everyone, welcome to this week's show. With me this week, I have Kyle, former GM of Team Rocket and avid non-playoff team this year. And me, of course, your champion, your commissioner, the Ramrod Empire. You may notice that Corey is not here. He was supposed to be here, but he's feeling under the weather, so he couldn't make it. So whatever he had planned to review today, we'll review it next week in our season finale episode, I guess. So let's get to it, Kyle. A lot of interesting matchups last week, four to be exact. Let's talk about some results.
Let's do it.
Ramrod Empire defeating Fetch Me a Drink 11-3. Very reminiscent of last year's finals and the beatdown that Dan took. What happened here?
Dan's team didn't even really show up this week. I mean, we were all expecting you to win, but we figured he'd put up more of a fight at least. You know, I mean, you had decent numbers, but and plus 20 is nothing to scoff at. But you know, your team was beatable this week. Your goalies didn't particularly do well, but his did worse. You know, so and sometimes that's the name of the game. You know, your team doesn't show up, but theirs didn't even show up even more. And Dan's team forgot it was the playoffs.
My skaters showed up. My goalies definitely did not. But my skaters showed up, especially Matthews. Even McDavid before he got injured was doing quite well for me. But my boys, the skaters showed up. Dan just he doesn't like to play against my team. I guess just wants to fold, give up. That's all right, Dan. It was a good matchup because the right team won. It's just how it's gonna go, Dan. Maybe next year you won't meet up with me. You better hope that someone eliminates me before you run into me. Don't try the beef. Losing 7-5 to the Braden bye week. What do you think about this matchup?
You know, when I did my little segment there last week, and I said the worst team going in the playoffs was Braden bye week, but I still picked Braden to win, even though I said he was the worst team going in, and partially that was because he's playing Daltrey, and and Braden's had a horseshoe up his ass all year. Him and Chris, horseshoes up their ass,
Not
and
sure it
that
was
horseshoe
horseshoes.
with the horseshoes. That's right. I think they're sharing the same horseshoe. Uh,
Double-ended, right?
yeah. Uh, so yeah, we saw some of that luck. Daltrey made a mid-week decision to sit some goalies, and we've all been there where you're like, there's some risk to this move, but I think it's the right move. Well, it turned out to not be the right move. It cost them the week. It cost them saves, and I believe it cost them wins as well, if I'm not
I
mistaken.
think he tied wins on the last day.
Yeah, he tied wins in the last like 5 wins. Like you should be winning the week with 5 wins. Uh, but unfortunately, Daltrey needed that sixth win, and he needed the saves. He would have had the week and would be moving on uh, to play RoboWolf. But yeah, so costly mistake for Daltrey. Good fortune for Braden.
Yeah, I agree. Like he made a decision, and you know what? Good on him. He's not trying to deflect or anything. That he's owning it. He's like, I made a strategic decision that I thought would pan out. It didn't. But to Travis's point as well, when you run four goalies, you can't you have less skaters, so you can't really be benching your goalies halfway through the week and then keeping them all. Um, that's just wasted roster space in the playoffs.
Yeah,
Now,
and if you look, like he lost assists by one. He lost power. Well, he tied power play points. Uh, those extra roster spots might have gotten those stats instead of the goalie stats. You know, so
I probably
uh,
would have dropped that Montreal goalie, Dobes. You still have him? I think he still has him, eh?
I don't know. Let me have a look here. Yeah,
He,
he's got him.
I would have dropped him like he's dead weight for the playoff run. If you're serious about making a run this year, you drop that, you pick up a skater to get those extra man games up front, possibly the assist that you needed. But Dolce is very inexperienced. He doesn't make the playoffs too often, so we'll chalk that up to that. And maybe he'll have a better luck next year, but I don't think he has a better draft than he did this year.
No,
He's kind of in like a Travis spot where he drafted everything early, and now next year, who
back
knows
to
what his
regular
team will look like.
drafting.
Yeah. Forgot about Dre moving on, defeating Domo, Captain Crunch, 10-3. What happened here?
Uh, Dre had a pretty dominant week. He put up good numbers across the board, and Domo not so much. Domo got 12 power play points, pretty good. 93 hits. That's pretty fucking large. But he didn't get any decent goaltending. Dre got above average goaltending, slightly above average player stats, and that made it a pretty easy week for him to move on.
Yeah, I thought this like Nick had this wrapped up really early in the week. I thought it was very unlikely that Domo came back. Not saying it was impossible. It's fantasy hockey, like anything can happen. But
Yeah,
Domo was far behind early on, and he couldn't recuperate. He couldn't catch up and find his footing. This goes back to what I've been saying about Domo's team. There's just no real infrastructure there. When it comes down to regular season, you're gonna outman game people. When it comes to the playoffs, you don't have the skill to match up with the big teams, and this just shows it. Um, so again, I will suggest that Domo kind of maybe restructures his team or his strategy next year to build for the long run, make a deep playoff run. I know everyone says, "Oh, he made to the finals in one year." That was like 4 years ago now. Since then, he's been an easy first round exit if he even made the playoffs every one of those years.
yeah, because he kind of chases his tail a little bit, and I can't really say much because I don't make I make the playoffs like every other year, more or less. And Domo's made it every year the last few years, but he spends all his capital to make it into the playoffs, right? And I think if he spent his capital and maybe upgraded one or two of his keepers, because he's got Brady Kachuk, and Brady Kachuk is one of the best fantasy players out there, right? That's
Yeah.
great. You want to trade that, but maybe if he upgrades one or two other keepers and then kind of focuses on just kind of keeping his keepers or sorry his draft picks one year and then going in for a big run the year after. That might do the trick. But he spends all of his capital just to make the playoffs, and then you're seeing these first round exits.
But he also moves keeper worthy players to get more capital to keep moving that around. Like he had JT Miller, like JT Miller should have been a keeper on his team still. Uh,
Yeah,
he did pick up Barkov, which I really like. I like
good
Barkov.
move.
Barkov's a great player, great addition to his team. But his keeper base is one of the weaker ones in the league, I feel. Again, guys, this is my opinion. Um, and because he just cycles all his picks, like he doesn't have much to show for it in the end. And this is not a jump on hating Domo episode here, but I feel that's what he needs to fix to kind of maybe really compete next year with the teams like Ramrod and Dre and Robo Wolf, the teams who are typically always at the top, right? Um, gives an example, someone like Travis didn't feel he could compete with his team. So what do? He sold it all and yeah, he's completely rebuilding, right? Sometimes you need a full rebuild. You yourself have been going through a rebuild the last couple of years. You've been patient with your picks and your younger players, right? So you definitely understand that aspect of it. Sometimes you need to refresh your core and actually have a core though, but. Uh, Big win for Dre. I think there was no doubt from anyone that he was moving on. I'm pretty sure everyone last week picked him, so win for him, and draws a tough matchup this week with Robo Wolf, who we'll talk about now, who defeated Patches O'Hooligan 8-4. What happened in this matchup?
Yeah, this is probably definitely one of the close matchups of the week. Um, they both put up great offensive numbers. Tied at 19 assists, both a shorty each. Patches gooned it up a little bit with 61 hits, 43 blocks, 107 shots. And I think the difference maker was like whose goalies were less shitty. And Patches had Patches has a good forward core, but he's had problems with his goalies for most of the year, and it kind of shown his goaltending problem kind of shown through here. Uh, and Corey was able to edge him out on a couple of goalie stats that really solidified the win for him.
Yeah, it's a big win for Corey. Once again, I think that's like a bunch of years now, 3 or 4 in a row where he makes it at least the semifinals.
Yeah,
Patches is a team that struggled to make it past the first round, pretty much in the existence of his franchise. Um, I feel like he's stuck in limbo. He doesn't know what he wants his team to do. Like he decides he's a seller, then he's like, oh, I can't sell, so I gotta be in. When really he should have probably been all in to begin with. Because his team is good. I just think he's one of those GMs who need to kind of put a little more faith in his gut and go out and make those moves and pay a little more to get the right players to help push you over that bump. Um,
yeah. Uh, and I don't think Corey has ever lost in the first round. That's why he's technically our winningest GM in terms of like total playoff wins. I think you're like one win behind him, so you might pass him this year, depending how things go. But he definitely has a good playoff record. Not
only
that
one
not
championship to show for
only won the show for it.
it. It'll be interesting to see what happens there, but a big win for Corey. I know that was a little tighter than he probably would have wanted. To me, though, the tightest matchup was obviously Braden and Daltrey. Um, that was the most fun to watch.
Yeah,
But some interesting results. For the record, Corey and I both went 4 for 4 on our first round prediction. Kyle, you went 3 for 4 as you got patches wrong.
yeah.
Um, what else we got here? Derek went 3 for 4. Travis and Neil each went 2 for 4.
Do they pick against you?
Travis picked Patches and Daltrey,
Oh, yeah.
and Neil picked Patches and Dan.
Mm.
Would have thought the finals from last year would have shown them all that Dan's just not in my league, but you know, teach their own. Everyone likes an
It's kind
upset.
of lose.
Everyone likes an upset.
Yeah.
They all want a different name on this bad boy. But I'm gonna start the trophy this side off the right way. Put my name right there again.
Well, the odds are 75% chance it's going to be a repeat name.
Yeah, yeah. There's only Braden who's never won it. So, and that's his hopes are gonna end this week. Let's talk about that now, I guess. Let's get into this week's matchups. Kyle, start with you, I guess, because I'll talk last. Fuck it. Ramrod Empire versus the Braden bye week in the semifinals. Who do you have here?
Uh, normally I'd be all in on you to win this match, but Kachuk, McDavid out. I feel like that's going to be problematic for you. So, and Braden has been hella lucky this year, and I still think they're still sharing a horseshoe up their ass. So I think it's going to be tight, and I think Braden's luck's going to continue all the way to the finals.
Well, I think you're wrong for obvious reasons, but Braden has yet to beat me this year, and the onus is on him to beat me. He can't tie me because I have the tiebreaker. He has to beat me. His path to the finals goes through the champ. I've been there 4 years in a row. I'm making it 5. I'm adding another ring. I'm collecting rings like they're fucking infinity stones, boys. I'm going all the way. Yeah, McDavid's out. But with McDavid and Draisaitl out, is that good for fucking Skinner? The Oilers already let a lot of goals in. You don't think that they're going to be crappier without their two centers? Skinner is going to get lit up, especially tonight against Dallas. Yeah, he'll pick up a win because his goalies are playing each other. Edmonton could still score some goals, but they're likely to let in a lot of goals without your top players. I think that's going to be his weakness. My goalie, only one start so far, has been really strong. It's not the shutout that he got. Um, but my guys are performing right now, and I have more man games than him. Another disadvantage for him, he has McAvoy, who got injured, and he had to use one of his ads to pick up a defenseman right away Monday morning. He also picked up a player on Sunday to help him beat Daltrey, who doesn't play again until Friday. It's still on his roster. That's a 4 days in between games that he's just wasting that spot right now. At this point, we're Wednesday. He's already halfway there. He's probably going to hold on to him, and that's fine. You hold on to your Panthers. I know they only play twice this week, and I'm likely to get both those starts. So I've been studying this matchup. I'm ready. My team is going to take Braden down. I'm going to move along to the finals to take on one of the sauces. I'll let you know who I think it's going to be in a minute. But Kyle, who do you think is going to win out of the battle of the sauces?
Definitely Saucier. Definitely. Uh, I've been saying it for a while. I think Nick is going to win the league this year, and my faith in him has not shaken at all. So I'm going to go with Nick. His team has just been uh, performing all season long, putting up great numbers consistently. Corey's had a good team. I expect him to put up a decent fight. I expect him to make it close, but I think it's Nick to go to the final.
I also think it'll be Nick, and I'm counting on it. I want my match with Nick in the finals for the championship. The guy who I haven't beat yet this year, I want to beat him to prove that there's no doubt that Ramrod is the best team in the league. So, Nick, I will see you there. Be interesting. No one else sent in predictions for this round. No one gives a fuck once the first round's over, apparently.
It's
Um,
like the real NHL.
yeah, exactly. Oh, there's only 4 teams that we don't give a fuck anymore.
Yeah,
I think they're just upset that Team Ramrod is still around, to be fair, uh,
could be.
but he's not
Uh,
going away.
yeah,
They don't
I
want
don't
to
think
think of that possibility.
I'm surprised anybody picked you to lose in the first round, though. That to me, that's crazy.
They did it last year. They all picked you.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it was only me and you who picked you. Everybody
Yeah.
else picked me. I'm like, why the fuck are you picking me for?
Well, I'd say right now there are 3 good teams left, and all 3 have won the trophy before. So there's a good chance that we're going to see a repeat champion. Obviously, you can't count Braden out because he's here, but I am fairly confident that I'm going to handle business this week and take him down. Anaheim has a favorable matchup tonight against the low-scoring Bruins. Gibson's getting me to start. He's been good all year with a 912 save percentage on a shitty Anaheim team. Um, I'm looking forward to that. I think Skinner's going to get lit up. That's going to catch me up in those goalie stats that I'm a little behind in. I'm not gonna win saves. Whatever. I'm gonna go quality starts over quantity. Um, I'm only running 3 goalies. I don't run 4 goalies to get saves and then sit them halfway through the week.
Yeah.
But
Like I said, like obviously you have the better team. It's yours to lose. And the only reason I'm picking Braden is because he's had that horseshoe all year, and I almost feel like the it's gonna fall in his favor again. There's no way he should have gone by the first round, but here we are.
he
And
barely got by the first round. I wanted him to get by the first round, to be fair. I
yeah,
wanted this
yeah.
matchup because I wanted to save a battle with Nick should it arrive for the finals, not the semifinals.
Well, maybe you'll get that battle that you've been clamoring for a few years.
That's it. In
We'll
my
see.
view, the top 2 teams in the league, in my view. And that's not to discount Corey's team. I think he's probably right there with us, just slightly behind based on our keeper base, um, to be fair. I would say Corey's a top three team, but I think my opinion is that Nick and I are the top two. And that's
Well, we'll see what plays out. I'm excited to see how this week turns out, and if it's a you and Nick final, that'll be long overdue.
that's right. And then I'll have to claim another victory, boys. I'm sorry, but Ramrod Empire, it's hard to take
You know,
down.
if you do get to the final, I think he'll tie you.
That's the only way Nick can win championships is by ties.
Wouldn't that be something, though?
With that said, next week is the finals. We will have our draft lottery on the show. So those of you who are invested in that kind of thing, Travis, actually Travis said he wants to be on the show for the draft lottery as he has several picks that are lottery picks. So Travis will be on the show. If anyone else would like to join, the last show we like to just have a open chat about things that have happened in the season, what we think's gonna happen, anything we want to see change, anything like that. We always talk about the league. It's when we have the one matchup to really talk about, right? So it's a kind of a short episode. I'm not sure if Corey will have his presentation of the other championships ready to run down. He still has two of my championships to run through, so I know everyone's eager to hear about those. Um, but it'll be interesting more for the roster players and the trades that happen, right? To see what the history what happened, how I built those teams, and not necessarily that I won because you guys hear enough about that all the time. But anyone who wants to join, reach out. I'm on days next week, so I can do pretty much any night. So whatever works best for the majority of the people who kind of message me, we'll organize something. I know you won't be here, Kyle.
No, I'll be off in sunny Costa Rica.
I hope you have a safe and enjoyable trip. Um, Keeping track of the scores and watching Team Ramrod claim victory.
I'll be keeping a close eye on it.
Like, stop it! You're at the beach. Put your phone away.
Yeah, I'll be fucking drunk texting, or
Yeah.
maybe I'll join the show from the beach.
Be like Neil, drug tested the chat. We all need to go to Jamaica.
Yeah, 10-year anniversary.
But seriously, anyone who wants to join us, welcome to join. I always like having anyone who wants to come on the show. Just it's always the same people who kind of free up their time or have the time to do it, right? So, but everyone's welcome if they want to join for the finale. Let's have a good chat about ups and downs of the season, what you enjoyed, what you didn't enjoy, whatever. Any final words, Kyle?
Yeah, the cost going up next year, $100 each. Heard it here first.
I know that's you'd like to see that. Some GMs would like to see it. Other GMs are firmly against that, but
Well, let's put it to the vote, like we do as a league.
yeah, that's something that should be probably voted on every season because that's something that could change every season, right? So,
I mean,
um,
we have a lineup of people who want to join this league. You know, I'm just saying.
he's threatening you. He's not even part of the league anymore. He gave his team to his brother Lyle after losing in disgrace to Ash Ketchum. But
Yeah.
it was him that
Well,
you lost to?
so I want to clarify something. Since I beat Travis, I got the team back.
Wow.
My brother gave it back. He's like, you've proven yourself that you beat Travis. Here's the team back.
You redeemed yourself because you beat the lowliest team. You're not even the lowliest team. Not even. Plum's
Yeah.
Plum's the lowliest team this year.
I look forward to the Caucasaurus presentation.
Yeah, we'll be able to do that because it's someone who will actually take the responsibility and claim the trophy. I
Yeah.
will say yes, Braden doesn't have the trophy right now, but he did have it a couple years ago. He was a good sport about it, but I would like to see more effort in him coming to claim that trophy next time.
Yeah. He actually kept it for 2 years. He kept it for like the entire time he wasn't the Caucasaurus champ.
Well, then that's fair because he has his name on it for 2 years. If he had it
Yeah.
for 2 years, all right. I'll let that drop then, Braden. You're off the hook for that.
Yeah, like I had it for like I don't know, not that long.
Oh, but it's been a good season. Hopefully we see the right ending here. But we'll see what happens, right? Anything can happen in fantasy hockey. We're still early in this week. Lots of hockey to be played. None of these scores are set in stone. I'm looking forward to see who makes it to the finals. Uh,
Yeah, and I'll say this: the only wrong answer to this year's champ is Braden.
I will agree, and I'm going to take care of that problem this week, just for you guys. That's what I do for
I
the
hope
league. I
so.
take care of business.
All right.
Well, thanks for watching, guys. To the guys who lost, good luck next year. Better luck next year. Do get better fucking players, make better decisions, make trades, be aggressive. Don't be afraid to fucking overpay for a player that's worth it. What are these draft picks doing for you every year? Everyone puts all this emphasis on draft picks. I walk into the draft every year with no picks, and I fucking walk out a champ. It's easy to say it's my keeper base, but I also make smart decisions. Really think about your moves, boys. That's the advice from the champ. While I still am the champ, you're gonna hear all about it until someone takes me down, boys. But good luck to all those who are still in. Hopefully, we'll be having some good news next week when we chat. But thanks for watching. Good luck, everyone, except for you, Braden. Go fuck yourself. Oh, I stopped the recording here. There we go.